Hello, 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 beautiful women. Welcome to day 8 of Circle Skills, and today we're going to be talking about transitions. So thank you so much for being here. For those who are new and just joining us through Circle Skills, I'm Mitlay Southey and I am the founder of Circle School, and on a mission to help as many women as possible experience the transformative power of coming together in circle. So it's a beautiful Sunday morning here. I'm about to go out for a walk in the falling leaves and the sunshine. And I just wanted to pop in. This is a relatively short lesson in circle skills, but it's really, really important. It's one of those little things that so often gets missed, which is why I've included it as a skill. A lot of these things, as we work through them, I really invite you, when you attend other circles and when you're planning your own circle, to start just deepening into that experience, not just to enjoy the circle, but every now and again to take that through the lens of a circle holder and see what works and what doesn't work and what you would like to take into your own circles. So today we're looking at transitions, and this is, as I said, it's something that can be easily missed, but it can make such a big difference in how your circle flows. Hello Fiona, welcome beautiful woman. So I just invite you, as always, we're just going to take a couple of moments, just gently closing down your eyes, lowering your gaze, just drawing your awareness to your breath. Take 3 deep cleansing breaths together, in through your nose, softly out through your mouth, and in through your nose, and out with a sigh, and in through your nose, and out with an audible sigh. Just allowing your breathing to return to its natural rhythm. Just breathing in and out as we cross the threshold together into this time and space, setting an intention that all that comes through will serve us and the greater whole. Gently blinking open your eyes. Welcome. Good morning, Tracy K. You're up early as well. Well, it's not that early, I guess now it's 7:30 for those of us over in the UK. So we're talking about transitions today. And the reason this is so important is, if you can look at circle itself, the circle that you're holding, whether this is in person or online, it is a journey. So from the moment those women, those people, those humans come into your space, from the moment you greet them to the moment you bid them farewell at the end, you are taking them on a journey. You are the guide for that time together. And as they come into that space, I've said this several times, and you may find different wording for it, but for me, they're crossing the threshold. That's a phrase that I use a lot. We're crossing the threshold, and it literally is into a different dimension of time and space. You're creating this safe and sacred container for whatever is going to unfold in that circle with you. Just the act of coming in to circle, whether it's online or in person, the intention is there that you are sitting in circle. And the experience is slightly different online, but you're still holding that energetic intention. Remembering that this is the shape where we all have a view of all. We can all see above and below. So, and the circle is obviously very symbolic in many ways, but just remembering that you're crossing the threshold, you're coming into this incredibly sacred container, physically, energetically, spiritually, etc. And so what I always encourage us as circle holders to do is, as we're planning our circles, to map that journey. Yes, you'll be guided intuitively, and the more circles you hold and the more you deepen into your capacity as a space holder and as a circle holder, the more you're likely to be able to go wherever you need to go. But if you're just starting on this journey, I highly encourage you to map it out. And even if you're an experienced circle holder, we still spend time thinking, visualizing, connecting to the energy, the soul of that circle. So as you're mapping that out, the reason it can be incredibly helpful is because it helps you to see the links between the journey. So transitions seem inconsequential, insignificant, but they are a vital piece of a powerful and transformative circle. Because you don't want to be taking women on a journey and suddenly find, that kind of like awkwardness as you move from one practice to the next. because you just haven't thought that through. So for example, if part of your circle is getting everybody up and you're dancing and you've got this really beautiful high vibrational state, and then when you bring them back down into circle, you suddenly share something that is going to take them in a completely different energetic state. That might be what you wish to do, but just think through it. Think how these will flow together. Because as you're journeying, I guess it's almost like a piece of music. You want to bring them in slowly. I've never thought about that before, but I think it is. You want to bring them in slowly and kind of crescendo in the middle. Is that the right word? Any musicians here? And then you want to bring them out again so that when you say farewell, when you bid them farewell at the end of that circle, you've had that time to help them integrate and embody the experience. If you're working with women who have never been to circle before, there's a beautiful time at the beginning to nurture them through, to allow them to feel comfortable, to settle into that space. Not only for you to know you're holding a safe space, but for the women there to actually feel that they're in a safe and sacred space. And so that deepest part of for me, that's always at the center, that deepest part of your circle, whatever that practice is. It could be drumming, chanting, whatever your modalities are, whatever journey that is. For me, it's usually a channeled guided visualization, but it could be craft, art, journaling, whatever that is that moment where transformation often happens. And so then you take women out of that journey, slowly allowing them to integrate and embody that experience. So think about how you link each section of your circle. So that is where the circle map is really helpful, because as you start to plan that out, you can see how you move. How are you going to move from sharing your guidelines into the first round of sharing? How do you make that not seamless, but how do you help that to flow? How do you keep that energy connected so that it's not jarring and awkward and suddenly you're moving into something, or you're coming out of a deep relaxation and then suddenly you tell everyone to get up and dance. Again, that might be the tactic that you're using, that might be the intention and meaningful purpose, but always come back to your intention. But I just really encourage you to think about how that journey flows. How are you going to move women from one practice to the next? How are you going to navigate the moments of silence, the moments of journaling, the moments of deep sharing? How are you going to hold that space for tears and then allow the next woman to share? How are you going to hold the space for joy and then allow the next woman to share? So just thinking of all those different elements and see them as links. I see it's like how is your circle going to flow? How are those almost like links in a chain? Each part of the circle links to the former part of the circle. It's your job as the guide to move people through those practices in a way that is safe. It doesn't have to feel comfortable. In circle, we get to sort of touch our wild edges. We get to see how far we can go. We get to sit with discomfort. But I think it needs to flow in a way that doesn't trigger us to feel unsafe. And that, for me, is one of the most important things about circle. How can we ensure that we feel safe? So that's really all I have to say on that. Just seeing I made some notes. Did I miss anything? I don't think so. So as I said, it's really short in terms of the videos for circle skills, but it's a really, really vital part. And for those of you that think about this, those of you that put some time and energy into those transitions and consciously intend for your circle to flow, to follow that journey, to guide women from where they entered to where they leave, it will make such a difference. And one of the things you'll see if you're attending other circles, just notice how that flows, because there is no formula for this. There's no, this is how you transition from one to the other. It'll depend on you as the circle holder. It'll depend on your modalities. It'll depend on the theme of the circle. But if you can bear it in mind, it'll really help you see how that journey can unfold in a truly transformative way. Because we're always reminding ourselves that circles are not therapy, they're not counseling, they're very, very different, but they are transformative if we can allow that transformation to take place, to not be afraid of it. And those transitions are an essential part of that. So thank you so much for joining me. Let me just check on the beautiful comments. Tracy K, thank you, my darling, you're like my note taker. Yes, I think you are. We're crossing into a different dimension of time and space. The circle shape's so symbolic. Thank you, lovely. You've made lots of beautiful notes. If anyone's watching the replay, read Tracy K's notes. Yes, moving with the energy, and I love that analogy, like a piece of music with a crescendo in the middle. Yeah, I don't know why I haven't thought about that before, but that's exactly what it's like, isn't it? You're kind of building up and then you're coming out so that you've experienced a circle, you've completed the journey. You don't come to the end of a circle and just kind of feeling like how am I going to step back into real life from here? Which is why in an earlier class I talked about how important the close is, and that is again, it's one of those pieces that often gets missed, or you go over time and you just go, okay, I don't want to miss a practice, so I'll miss the close. Don't do that. Skip a practice, don't skip the close. The close is essential, as are transitions. Thank you, beautiful. I love it and love your attention to all the parts. Inclusion in action. Yes, thank you so much. Thank you for framing it in that way. I think it's really important. Yes, circles are not therapy and they can be transformational. Beautiful. Thank you so much for joining me. If you have any questions, as always, please pop them in the comments and tag me, and I will pop back later to see what they are. I'll also be back later to do day 9. Doing that this evening. I'm sort of crossing time zones here. And then tomorrow is day 10. So that's our final day. And if you're jumping into the holding space immersion, that starts tomorrow. So I highly recommend jumping in today. You can jump in at any time, but if you want to jump in today, then you'll get to join the live round, which is going over the next 14 days. There's heaps of resources already in there, but the live round starts tomorrow, and that's just $97. So it's a 14-day immersion, and it's really good. It is a real deep dive into holding space. And I think yesterday I said I'd do a separate video on what's included. So I will do that later today. So have a beautiful end of your Sunday. For those of us over here in the UK, we're just starting our Sundays. And I will see you all very soon and cannot wait to sit in circle with you. Mwah.